Here we go then. ESL One New York, one underway. We're at the end of our first day. One more match to come, another best of three, and another elimination match. This time it is the former major champions, Astralis, going head-to-head with Team Liquid, who fought their way through the lower bracket. We're going to focus our first attention on Astralis. They've had a good year overall, Duncan. It's had to be said. They've won the major at the start of the year. They won 3 big tournaments as well. Had that brilliant run through the summer of 10 in a row, finishing in the top 4. But a little bit like SK, seem to have gone off the boil a little bit recently.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at the teams that they're losing to now. They only used to lose before to teams that won the tournament, basically. Like, yeah, they could lose to Virtus.pro. Virtus.pro then went on and won the tournament. They could lose to FaZe. FaZe was looking like the team that replaced them. SK Gaming, obviously the best team in the world. So these were more reasonable losses to have. Now they've lost to Gambit a couple of times. One of them, yes, the Gambit that won the major. The other one, kind of the one that everyone was thinking, well, this should be the easier Gambit to take care of, you know. So they have something to prove here. That snapped the top 4 streak. Obviously, this would be 2 times in a row. They wouldn't make top 4 if Team Liquid beat them here, and Team Liquid's looking hot. You know, they're a team that are really on the rise. So you think of Astralis, you think of the most fundamentally sound Counter-Strike, you think of consistency, you think of the idea that in a best of 3, they're the toughest team to beat in some senses because they're always going to get a map, they're always going to make it close. So we know in this current climate, it feels like anything can happen in Counter-Strike. I mean, VP's coming last in the tournament, Envious qualifies for them all, no one knows who's going to win. So maybe this is another one of those patterns that's going to be broken.
Yeah, we've had Gambit, North, Mouse Sports have all won tournaments in the last couple of months, Chad. Are we going to get another new one?
Anything's possible. But look, I still want that Astralis SK final, which we can't have anymore. So I'm just going to have to go home and dream about that one. But at least we get the semi, where that was going to be my dream anyway. But I find it hard to look at this matchup for Liquid and go, I wonder if they're going to be a bit lethargic after just going the distance in a best of 3. It was one where the last 2 maps were relatively quick, so maybe that plays into it a little bit. But coming up against Astralis, who just got to watch them play these 3 maps and look at their weaknesses, you'd be picking Nuke in the first round, wouldn't you? Because the Vans are going to be pretty clear. You're going to be getting rid of Cage for Liquid, and then Astralis are probably going to be banning Cobblestone. So that's a huge weakness that Liquid have just exposed yet again, right? They lost to Mouse Sports on it, now they got blown out by VP.
Nuke certainly, I think, should be something that you're thinking about if you're the guys from Astralis. With that said, though, very good chance in a best of 3 we're going to see Mirage played again. I have to say, actually, they gave away nothing on that one because they dominated the CT side so hard. So I think that's got to be one where you've got to certainly say they've got a chance there. We could well see Inferno in the map pool again. I want to know, actually, if someone will revert the whole thing if we didn't want to play Overpass. Remember, it was actually Astralis who banned Overpass against themselves, essentially. If I'm them, I'd be going into that going, let's see how that goes again, because you don't always want to play the same old maps again. You don't want to pick Mirage against them. So I agree. I think Nuke would be a very shrewd pick, especially after what you saw from Virtus.pro. So put a bit of pressure on them, remind them of what happened there.
I mean, it's also, I want to make the remark about Astralis as well, because they, in a way here, are being forced to do things that they don't really want to have to do. In the past, they were just like, we want to play this map and this map, and we don't care about the other stuff. We'll just play what maps we want. Now they're having to start consider what maps they don't want to play or what maps they don't want to give the other team.
I still don't see any like massive weaknesses in their map pool, obviously, other than Cobble, which they just don't play. Even though they say they practice all 7, but hey, should we play Cobble at some point then, right? But I don't see any huge like flaws. I think because of the way they play Counter-Strike, it's fundamentally sound, and everybody on that team seemed to be putting in enough effort against Liquid on the first map, which is Mirage. Then when you move over against Nico and Rain just dropping bombs, it's a bit hard to get anything done. But one of the shining lights is Device. He had a good game. You know, he had 17 frags in that matchup. So that's a positive for both teams, I guess, because you look at Liquid, everyone in that last map contributed. It was just a team effort. Are they more warmed up? I always question this, because when I was a player and you're coming into a matchup like this, just playing a game is sometimes an intense game lets you down. Like, you actually have just depleted all of your energy.
There's different players in different situations, isn't it?
Whereas coming into this one, maybe they're like, hey, we've played enough Counter-Strike today, we're feeling really good, and we're going to go up against a team who's coming in not so hot because they just had to have that break. So I'm not sure if it plays into the favor of these guys. I don't know their mentality, unfortunately.
On either side, for that matter, as well. It could be bad for both of them. We just don't know what we're going to get. In terms of the way that Liquid approach this, obviously they played them already today, so there's some knowledge there. What do they get out of that, and what do they get out of winning that last match?
I mean, even though they lost the game when they played against Astralis earlier in the day, I think there's so much you can take from that. I feel like CT side, you looked like you had a really good read on how to do the retakes. It's such an interesting style. They weren't playing very far up in the sites. They were more passive. And then you know that actually the only thing that beat you when you were on your T side, you were close to victory, is when you didn't expect Astralis to suddenly break out of the box, which is not what Astralis does, and play that very aggressive style. So if anything, you could play the exact same T-side style, but just watch out for a little bit of that, maybe hold one guy back as a rotator, or use a bit more utility to get in. And you have to feel like we would have gotten over the line there. So I think it's the Astralis that have to do the adaptation, even though they won, whereas usually it's the other way around. You know, normally the team that wins is the one that kind of rests on their laurels.
They relied on that round 24, right, which was the eco round that they flawlessly won, which was fantastic. But then from there, that's when everything fell apart for Liquid. That old choking kind of came back into it, and the aggression definitely played a huge role. The question is, you're Liquid, you know that the game is in your hands. You're probably a little bit scared to pick it because you did lose it. But then you're Astralis on the other hand, and you only just won the game, right? 16-13, it wasn't like you did it with ease. You actually started really well, and then there was a huge comeback by Liquid, and they were looking like they were in control. So I agree with Duncan. They're the ones who actually have to change their approach because Liquid were doing the right thing, and they know what the adjustment is, or the adjustment was from Astralis, so they're already one step ahead. So now you have to think an extra step ahead if you're Astralis, and it's probably going to be most likely be a third map. I wouldn't be expecting either team to pick it in the first phase.
Yeah. Where do the coaches come into this? Zeus in particular.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, actually, because over on the Team Liquid side, it's obvious that they have a coach they're trying to get a good relationship with, and you think he can impart a lot, obviously, especially because he comes from a totally different culture and different mentality of playing, which is something where you can see the contrast because of the success SK had within the NA region, that the NA region, they don't play like that SK did. So I think he could have a big impact, and as we were saying, when they had that big final at Mykonos, they lost him for part of this. They never fully felt like they had their best kind of, all their best feet forward and best chance to win that series. On the other side of the equation, we almost never talk about Zonic, actually, because unfortunately, since Glaive is kind of viewed as the mastermind in-game leader, as far as I know about that team, Zonic does some of the prep work with Glaive, because at the end of the day, no in-game leader has time to watch all the demos as well. But as far as I know, he's more there for like the emotional component, which is an element of leadership, which actually a lot of the smart in-game leaders I know don't tend to have, because they are so sort of robotic and they think about the game so rationally that they think it's just X's and O's. If you do this correctly, we win. But obviously, when you have young players like Kirby, you want to have someone who can kind of control the tempo, can make sure when we have the timeouts and we have all these moments, like he can make sure people are settled or make a small tweak, which maybe boosts how someone's playing. That's where I see Zonic having more of an impact, you know. Whereas for Zeus, I think it is tactical input he's giving.
Or as he told me when I asked him what he was doing as a coach, bottle carrier.
Bottle carrier?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why he's bottle carrier, but I think he was joking, obviously, at the time. But you know, I
found
that
they've lost their bottle a few times, you know, the old chokers. So they need that.
Some English colloquial phrases creeping in.
What are you up to?
Yeah.
What are you doing later?
I got that British passport. I'm following. I know what's going on.
He's all good. He's all good. Commonwealth.
This time.
We got the full one this time. Matt's here.
Yeah, we do. That's good. Yeah, do we count him? Yeah, I suppose we do, because he's kind of Canadian. Yeah, all right.
He still bows to the Queen. He bends the knee.
I guess. All right. In terms of...
Cut his mic.
Yeah, don't let him talk. Don't let him talk. Don't put him on camera at all. Okay. He's trying to creep in on our segment. Right now, Sadakis and Henry Dew will be your commentators for the next one. Astralis, in terms of the line that was on the screen at the bottom earlier on, I had a little bit of a bone of contention with that, because it said this could determine any changes.
Yeah, I disagree. Unless they know something I don't.
Well, quite. Is that just speculative? Because I'm not aware.
It's definitely speculation.
I think what happened was Carrigan got into that control room. He goes, "Oh, can I just text my mum?" And then he goes, "I think this next change, they'll probably disband if they lose this next game, especially that Astralis. They're rubbish."
Planting seeds of doubt. I don't think
What's going on here?
And Liquid have only just made changes.
Not like
not like they're going to be changing anything, is it?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. They're on a bit of a rise at the moment. So even if you lose to Astralis, you know,
no shame in that.
Exactly.
No, I mean, that's the point for them, isn't it? They've had a good run. When they were, I don't know if you saw them in the room after Mykonos, because they were devastated after that grand final. Genuinely devastated. They stayed in there for at least 40 minutes after the game. Didn't come out and join anyone afterwards. I was quite shocked by the fact they went in there and just had a quiet, you know, kind of, sorry guys, but you played really well, be proud kind of thing. But they seem to, that doesn't seem to have affected them here. They've bounced back. They've won games.
Well, they're still in the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I wondered whether it would have any impact on them, though, having come so close.
It's usually a growing experience, Paul, after you lose.
Okay.
Or you quit.
Did you grow up?
He used to be about 4'5" when he started playing.
That must be why Snacks is like 6'7".
Yeah. Yeah, nah. I don't think... I think it's only going to have a positive effect, right? They're going to look at why they lost. They're going to look at their mistakes, and they're going to move forward from that. That's a positive thing.
A positive thing. We're going to be moving into the vetoes momentarily. So let's turn our attention to this map pool, because we've touched on it a little bit.
Sure.
You know, where will they go? Will they ban cash? Won't they ban cash? Will they take Mirage? When they not take Mirage, will Astralis take Overpass this time? Was it a bluff the first time round? There's all sorts of mind games going on in this one.
The bans seem obvious to me.
Yeah.
Liquid are going to ban cash, and Astralis are going to ban Cobblestone.
Okay.
The first phase picks is where it gets weird.
Yeah,
right?
from there we can go everywhere. That's what's interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Where do you think that everywhere is? What would you do?
Well, I have to say I agree with you. Actually, after what happened on Mirage, if I'm the guys from Astralis, either I would personally go to Overpass, but they showed before when they banned that maybe they're not comfortable.
Yep.
So I would go straight into Nuke. I would say not only do we like Nuke, they're generally pretty good on it. They've got a pretty good record. Second, we just saw them get destroyed on it in this tournament and in the last tournament and have basically non-existent CT side. So that would be, I'd just say go ahead and pick that immediately. Then, luckily, this is the great thing if you're Astralis. Whatever they pick is something we play and probably like.
The only thing which I can think if Liquid picks is Inferno and that you're not going to have a lot of confidence in if you're Astralis is going to be Inferno because you just lost a phase on it 16-5 or whatever it was, right? So you're a bit down in the dumps there, and that's starting on the CT side. So they just got absolutely shook in that matchup. Right. So that's something which you could look at Liquid. You just beat VP on it. Sure, it wasn't like a blowout win, but it was pretty convincing in the way they did it. It felt like they not took their foot off the gas, but they were just biding their time to close that one out. They got the double orbs up and finished it off on that CT side. So that would be a fine pick. But then we've got maps like, Train is something which Astralis have never really loved, but they're happy to play it. So like if you're Liquid,
I feel like that will be the Liquid second rotation ban now.
Yeah,
I'm just going to throw this into the mix. What if Liquid just suddenly go, do you know what? We played really badly on Nuke. Far too many. Let's just ban it. Straight off the bat.
I think that would be bold, because here's the thing. I don't think Astralis will pick Cash. So actually, I think it will be available as your second rotation ban if they want to. The problem is, especially underdog teams, very rarely take the risk in that sense. The big teams sometimes do it because they have so much confidence and they really can use that logic of, like I'm saying here, it's not you think Nuke's your best map, but we think they're weak on it. So that will have that killer instinct. A lot of the young teams and a lot of the more inexperienced ones, they need that comfort. Like they don't want to live in a world where, like, here's the thing. I don't think Astralis would pick it, but they never want to be in the world where if you don't ban it, there's a chance Astralis do just go, we pick that. And then now it's like, now we feel like we're starting off in a terrible position. So I just don't think psychologically that they're the type of team that will do that.
The thing is, it probably could be worth the risk, right? Because North American teams are historically known for being very good on the map. And when you can play a little bit more puggy, a little bit looser, this used to be Nitro's playground, right? So if you were to risk that map and let it go through, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And they actually banned Nuke. So that means this is where we find out if we're dealing with an Astralis who's going to pick to their strengths or if they're going to pick to the weaknesses of Liquid. And recently, they've been picking to their strengths and not the weaknesses of their opponents.
All right, let's find out. It's an Inferno
there
pick.
You go. They want the punish.
Makes sense.
Do they pick Astralis? Pick T side first.
Astralis has picked Cash. This is bold, because here's the thing: if you saw Malmo, okay, that was the game where Gambit picked Cash against Astralis, and Astralis came very close to winning that. Then you think back to the major, SK picked Cash against Astralis. Astralis actually won that small margin, but again won it against, in theory, the best Cash team. So this actually tells me that Astralis was absolutely thinking, if you do that, we'll instantly come right back and pick this, because that's a very bold pick.
Yeah, so that's picking to the weakness, right? So they want to put the foot in the throat there and try and get it done.
And that changes the whole rest of the veto now, because like at this point in the equation, is Team Liquid going to have to ban Nuke? Do they actually want it to be the third? I can't imagine they do, but there's no way surely Astralis is banning it. Now if Astralis wants to do that Overpass ban or go with the Inferno ban, there's all kinds of different directions they can go to force that third map out, because the train ban here. So again, if Astralis want to play on Nuke as they decide, Nuke's already out of the question. If they want to play on
Mirage, Overpass,
if they want to have traditionally their best map as the last one, they can have it. If I'm them, I'd go ahead and have it. Why play Mirage?
Yeah, I wouldn't risk Mirage.
Liquid are looking at this from the earlier bans, aren't they? They're thinking, well, if we remove train, they're going to ban Overpass, and that's exactly what they have done. So they get Mirage.
That's so weird. Why are they moving away from Overpass?
See, the weird thing about that is, I agree. I think they've essentially given Liquid like two of the maps they like. I think no one really likes Cash in this equation. I would actually personally edge it to Astralis, though. I think that's a decent pick. They've shown they have a good T side on it. It's just a slow, methodical, take mid control, basically. The real question mark's the Inferno game, I think, because I don't really know who's good on that map. Between these two teams, they can both play it. They both lose it quite a lot, though, so it's a tough one.
The big thing is with the CT side for Astralis is how Device is playing the map, right? Because he's the main AWPer on this one on the CT side, and he moves around wherever he feels it. So he's either going to be picking mid, he's going to be going aggressive down Banana, they're going to be supporting him with that third man. But it's more from instinct. It's not like they have a set plan. You have to get the spawns, you have to have the instinct that you can go for the pick. Otherwise, that can be a huge issue. But I don't think that's necessarily what they need to take on Liquid on this map. what we did see from Liquid that was positive against Virtus Pro was the way that they collapsed onto that A site. They really liked the Arch or the Wrap side. They were hugely favoring that, and they had really good timings, and we saw some good lurks from Stan. So that's something which you're going to need to shut down earlier if you're Astralis, because it did work against VP, and I can see that timing, you know, it's hard to disjoint. It's not an easy... Once they get that mid control, once they get around Arch side, it's not so easy. You're going to have to shut them down in middle.
We also saw a little bit of creativity on the CT side occasionally from Liquid as well. There was some stacks on both sides.
Yeah.
It didn't necessarily pay off in the game, but it shows that they're thinking differently. They're thinking about playing the map a little bit differently.
I've seen it's okay. So this is I'm a bit ashamed of referencing this team, but LDLC has been dabbling with, you know, when you have the full loss bonus on the CT side.
There's no shame in mentioning existence any time that he's on a panel.
Oh, no recommended, if anything.
They've been doing some fun stuff where they have like the max loss bonus, and they've been buying SMGs and just Kevlar, and they've been doing that as their like kind of tricky buy and doing stacks, and I actually think that's cool. We saw Elige do something similar when Liquid were down. He bought a MP9, I think it was, and got boosted in Banana. So you could actually do that across the board with the majority of the team other than the AWPA, and do some interesting stacks with it, maybe some flash pushes, and see if you can overwhelm. I think it could be a quirky little strategy to coming forwards.
Yeah, I quite like the fact that they're experimenting and being a bit funky with stuff as well. It's quite interesting. From Astralis' point of view, you think comfort okay with the map picks? Do you think are they looking at this thinking we might have to squeeze this out in 3?
Well, part of the reason why they've picked Cash is, like I say, everyone thinks to themselves, well, we know Cobble's off the table, they'll never let us pick that. So traditional wisdom tells you pick Cash because it's like their least played map. In fact, I think coming into the major, they hadn't played it in 3 months or something. It's just that, like I say, the teams that have tried it, it's been kind of mixed results, you know, because they are a good team. Like they don't clearly have the same playbook of strategies they have elsewhere and all the different options, but the basics that they've figured out, they can play the map. So beating them, I think you've got to be a good Cash team, and that's where I have my question marks about Liquid, because as we saw there, they hadn't played it themselves in like 100-something days, 150 days themselves since they've played it. So in theory, they should have no offline rhythm and routine on it. It's actually good pick from Astralis. The Inferno one, I have to say, Astralis, they've been a little bit dodgy on that for the last few months. Liquid have to show a lot to win it, though. And then, for me, the real excitement will start on Mirage, obviously, because they've got the whole history of what just happened on that map. It's a map where traditionally Device has been very good, but he's been a little bit quiet. He hasn't been terrible in this tournament. He just hasn't been the superstar normally. You know, normally he's contending for MVP. That hasn't happened so far. So, in a way, here's the thing. If we see the Astralis from earlier, I think they're beatable. I think they're vulnerable. With that said, when you wait long enough, you feel like eventually the good Astralis is going to turn up for a map or two. Right. And that's where I want to see if Liquid can match up. Because so far, when you're beating VP, that's like, okay, props to you, but VP's also in a really bad spot. If you can beat the good Astralis on any of these maps, now you're really kind of showing that you've got some world-class potential.
And added to the scalps of SK and Virtus Pro already as well. So
just getting all the major champions. Get them all.
Grab them all, and then Gambit obviously will be next, and then I'll have had the last 4. So good stuff from them.
Just retire on top.
Stop now. just stop before you win anything. Yeah. Okay. In terms of Team Liquid, same thing really for you to analyse the group of maps. Do you feel like they'll feel quite happy with the group that they've got?
I think the Vito, even though they're not confident on Cash, I think they're going to be really happy with it. They get 2 maps which they should be extremely happy with, even though they lost Mirage. I think there's a chance for them to get a win on that one if we do get to a 3rd. I think the thing with Cash is they have to play a puggy style, which could actually catch Astralis off guard. I can see them just going for, I call them flipside smokes, just the connector and the white box smoke, and you boost over and you play relatively aggressive. And the way that Astralis play their CT side, they pivot off the AWPA once again, so Device is moving around constantly and everyone else has to fill the gaps, and they like to do like 3 middle, 1 at each bomb site. So if you get that style working early for Liquid, where you're able to just go aggressive middle and take those duels and win those fights, you can easily snowball, because when you take a CT side that gambles on sites and you're doing different stacks, if you can get on top of them, then they're always playing catch-up, because they're always taking a different gamble. They're not just playing the normal 2-1-2. And that's something which you don't really see a lot from Astralis.
Okay, let's bring in our commentary team, because we've changed things up in the commentary booth for this particular game. We're going to welcome back Henry G and Sadakist. Good afternoon, boys.
Hello.
How you doing? Looking forward to this one?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It'll be a good one, I reckon. Last game of the day, best of 3.
I was going to say, it's nice to get you back in to do some work. You know, caster life that you guys have.
That's the thing, yeah. We're getting used to this lifestyle now. Just like 1 map a day, like come in for 1 game.
I literally, in DreamHack Montreal, had 1 map on the final day. Thank you, Immortals, for a nice, relaxing afternoon.
Prove it.
That's a good point. You might kill me.
Or Duncan will kill you. Indeed. Enjoy.
Edgy. Oh, thank you very much. Wow, Matthew, here we go then. Astralis versus Liquid. Who you've got for this one?
Earlier this morning, obviously, a close game between the two, 16-13. I think Astralis have looked like they've been off form as of late. I think they've been disappointed with themselves since the major and the results that they've had. Obviously, ESL Grand Slam, they've taken a few of those events off. They weren't at Cologne. We haven't seen them as much as when they had, I'm not going to call it the era. I don't think it turned into that, but when they had their run of success at the start of the year. And I think Liquid is on an upward trajectory. I think they're looking very good. I think it's between them and Cloud9 to really emerge as the NA's top team. They've both been battling back and forth. They've both made changes.
Liquid definitely are the number one right now.
You think so?
Yeah, but the Cloud9, like, they're getting wrecked right now. Every single tournament they're going to get wrecked. So it's even in this one, like, because
I think it's a matter of taking time. I think, okay, yeah, fair enough. Results speak for themselves in the recent history, but I think that we have to give them some time, and that's why I think this event was a good story for that.
But like this is a new Liquid as well, right? And they're looking great. I think because they've got the support of players like Zeus behind them as a coach. I think that's why they're looking very good. The adaptation of Nitro being the in-game leader, it's looking like a nice overall package. They're getting deep in tournaments. They're finding grand finals. We can't say the same about Cloud9, and right now, I think Liquid definitely are the number one.
Not this Cloud9, obviously. Yeah, they were in Cologne, but that's a whole different story. I think I'm leaning toward Astralis, to be completely honest with you, to answer the question in black and white, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as we think. Hopefully, they've got organization under them after this morning's slower start, shall we call it that. Remember, it was Liquid that was down 7-1, came back, had a lead, and then were unable to close the game. Fast start for Liquid. Slow pace, but fast aggression to get down into alt middle and top of middle. JDM backs off. We're on the old patch, so although you're looking forward to seeing it, the aim punch has not changed, and therefore we're not seeing as much strategy as perhaps we will in the pistols in the future.
We'll see what happens here. It's going to be quite a slow round from Astralis so far, holding up in the default. They have got a couple of smokes to work with. Can go both sides, of course, but with two smoke, you'd assume it'd be towards B, but they are flirting with the idea of middle right now. Flashes coming through. Good smoke towards quad, and then the library. See where they can split towards B, considering they have one player there as well. See if that comes in. Flash is being thrown, and a smoke as well going in.
Caught out by Device. They round the corner, can't find the headshot. That'll give up a USP, and they're going to wrap through. Zipix as well. Slips out late. He gets inside of the pit. That's going to slow them down in A and make them think they are going to go back that direction, which they will eventually after checking CT. Make sure no rotations were any closer. We're not a threat as they go after Stanislaw. An awkward exchange. He'll eventually go down. All the kills going Liquid's way, including Dupree cutting off rotations. That was their best chance to catch off low HP in the site. Won't work. Zipix gets the last kill. It goes 1-0 Astralis.
Love that from Astralis. You could see how they were adapting on the fly as well. When they got more information, they wanted to split through spawn and actually head them towards the B side. They spotted two down the speedway and think, you know what? It's not worth it. We've got the silence USP. Yeah, sure, we have a player towards the B side, but he can come join us. Zipix gets in the pit, just pintering them absolutely everywhere. And through the smoke they went. Their own smoke designed to stop the CTs rotating back towards the B site, managing to isolate anyone towards A.
Right. I'm going to do a test really quick. I'm going to hold my cough button. Okay, I think it works.
Okay.
I didn't have faith in it because I don't think it was working originally.
Can I test it?
Yeah, I don't hear you, but chat will let us know. Chat will always let us know.
Well, it's going to be the force play coming through from Team Liquid. Everyone getting stuck in, even JDM, which I'm not a big fan of. He's got head armor and the 5-7, meaning he can't get the orb if they do indeed lose this round. But we'll see what happens. If he gets a kill, probably can get just about glass cannon. But round two, nothing really happening just yet. Just to know, Astralis with one rifle here, the AK-47 in the hands of Zipix. He managed to pick up 2 kills in the previous round. They've got 5 smokes here, and the rest on SMG. So trying to get some basic banana control and apartments. Dupree normally very good in this position. Just trying to bleed out whatever the CT tap here, work out as a stack, and then execute out of 5.
5. Wow. Down to a few less, though, because Pistols get all 3 kills. It's JDM, Twist, and Stanislaw to do so. Glaive, the in-game leader, will bow out and have to make calls from the sidelines.
Bit of a mess.
Yeah, that is a mess. That is a mess. That's the next iteration of Valve's implementation of communication rules.
Yeah.
Coaches can no longer talk during the round. Now, if you die, you're instantly muted. Imagine that.
That would be a bit much.
Yeah, but out they go. Device.
We used to have that.
I remember when Fade to Black was the thing.
You couldn't talk, and then as soon as your screen was fully black, you couldn't talk.
Yep, I know. I recall. I don't know the implementations as well as you would, but I recall it being a thing. This Device turns around after getting 1 kill on entry, realizes he's got company from behind, and goes down and leaves Zipix. Although he's good at clutches in a 1 versus 4. Bomb is down. He'll recover that toward Pit. And Willie, I think it's actually just above. Teammate went down, so excuse me. I thought it was at his footsteps. It was not. It's now JDM that will get the kill back, and a response from Liquid immediately to go 1-1.
very comfortable around there for Team Liquid. Astralis doing almost everything right there in terms of the build-up. They had the banana control. They dropped their smokes. Flashes went towards middle, but Team Liquid in front of the flashbangs. The CZ proving to be a very tricky weapon at the moment. It's the CT side especially to make those second-round force buys very viable indeed. JDM with the 5-7, which has been nerfed, if you will, recently, getting 3 kills in total. And Astralis getting picked off one by one. No refrags at all. And I guess it didn't have the firepower to work at there. 4 SMGs and challenging the 5-7 CZ at close range. It's a 50-50 duel, and this didn't work out for them. They'll be force buying in return, though. Like we said, the CZ comes out once again. In terms of utility, they've got 2 smokes to work with here, a couple of flashbangs, and Maid's hitting them in the face. But Dupree, one of the best deaglers in CSGO, finds Stanislaw.
Damn Dupree with the deagle. Always gets a kill. Falls back to Vice, meanwhile. Starts to probe what's going on inside of the B site. Nothing spotted so far as he sits with the deagle at the ready now towards CT. He'll slow his pace. He can afford to do so with the early pick, but not forever. It's not like they've got an arsenal of nades to work with. They do have one towards CT spawn. That one's device. Focus! Back sight finds Nitro. 2 deagle kills in the round for Astralis. And they'll continue on as well. Second smoke, the last of which they had. It's deployed. Plant comes just to the left of default, and therefore the spray from the M4 not effective. Dupree's tasked with watching off Banana because it's decent because Kiarby, oh, he could have baited him in. Elects to do the opposite instead, and unfortunately they get found out. JDM, that's the response as he comes back through. It's Elise to walk in from CT. It all fell apart. There was a chance. I thought that Kiarby could have distracted. Unfortunately, it didn't work with timing.
It was a decent attempt there from Astralis. The bomb going down. They find 2.5 kills, but can't find the final few frags there. Liquid holds strong. Hold on to 3 players as well. So recovering all the utility on the floor, salvaging what they can. 2 rifles will survive to round number 4 here. Astralis presumably on the full eco. They could force into this they really wanted to with a couple of AKs, but I don't think that's the main point of approach right now. It's going to be Deagles and CZs once again, and a chance for Liquid just to kind of establish himself and start to swell on the CT side. Nothing really being invested on the T side here. CZs and 2 sets of armor. Device, interesting enough, the AWP for the team, Matt, he does get head
Deagle and head armor, yeah.
Yeah, so he's taking himself down to 2K.
T side AWP. I can't recall the last time we saw him go super aggressive, to be fair, on the T side of Inferno.
He doesn't force into it, but like when it's available and they start winning a few rounds, exactly. Yeah. So when they pick it up, he'll absolutely pick it up.
Flash out, spray back in from Twist. The wall as well, he'll find Glaive. So far the 2 players with armor are still in effect, but not having much of one. JDM backs off toward the arch. Corner. Bomb's way down at the bottom of mid at this point in time. Don't expect much to come from this round. Twist has 4 kills. Could go for the ace. Might get the ace. Jumping in, he's denied. I tried to hype it up. Didn't really work, didn't I?
Well, I liked it.
Thank you.
I enjoyed myself. I was feeling it for a second. 3-1 for Liquid, though, and this will be the first full gun round coming in. JDM with the UMP right now, Matt. Not known to be a rifler, but he has been actually showing us he can actually dabble as well. At Mykonos, he was looking pretty proficient, I have to say. He'll keep hold of the UMP for now, and they try and just force himself into this round. This could be a bit more of an aggressive play, 3 towards Banana perhaps, try and find the first kill. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. I love those kind of rounds. You know, you've got an SMG to work with here. You've got lots of money to work with. We'll see whether they can maybe bully Astralis to enter. Yeah, they're pushing middle. They want to get in their faces. And here we go. Nitro to strike first. Flames everywhere and smoke, but it will be Liquid finding the first 2 kills. JDM with that aforementioned UMP. Nitro chimes in as well, and there's Twists. Very good round. Aggressive, of course, from Liquid.
Aggressive to set a tempo against Astralis. Too shabby. Elige behind the smoke as well finds a kill. Zipex walks out. Gun round accomplished. Liquid up 4-1.
Yeah.
And if we thought Liquid might not bring much toward Astralis, or rather, excuse me, Astralis wouldn't bring much toward Liquid. I got the veto backwards in my head and the conversation backwards in my head. That's fine. It's certainly showing that they're deer in the headlights at this point in time, so.
Yeah. That's perfect. That's textbook CS at that point. Like I said, it's that first gun round. You know Astralis are chasing you. You've got a AWP on a UMP. Let's get down there. First span in the works. Made them uncomfortable. And they made them look a little bit foolish at the same time. Pushing them down. Astralis is not ready for it. Completely wrecked by the push. JDM now happy to die in that previous one. He gets the AWP out. Takes the first shot and boiler. Still alive for now. It's another eco for Astralis, just a note. Deagle, CZ, PD50. Some armor once again. We probably see the device AWP next round, I would imagine, seeing as they get maximum loss bonus. As we get into round number 6 here, nothing really to talk about. 2 players in the apartments, 2 towards Banana, and we have got Elige trying to boost himself up on the wall, which he does just about. And now he can probably hold that position by himself. Against the pistol's not really worth it, but with the AK, he'll be more than happy to challenge for 1 or 2 frags here.
Sit to hold. Rotation back. Contact made. Nitro there for support as well with a nade over top. There's the flash, but won't Anything on the back of it will Elige, and that'll force Astralis back over toward middle instead. JDM still has a forward stance in the AWP. He's got to be a bit careful because as he resets the gun, luckily has the Molotov at the ready. He could have been caught off by pistols. Instead, funnels them over toward the library. Stanislaw ready for them. Dupree, I guess, always gets one with a deagle, but the round slowly ticks away. 31 seconds, and only one player left. JDM, I think, is spotted. Did he? Not quite. Actually gave Device a bit of a chance to get closer, which could be a problem for the op. If JDM's not careful, because he didn't have anyone inside a library having already lost Stan. His teammates weren't quite in a position, so that actually could have turned out a little bit awkward, and they could have lost more than 2 weapons, but they hold on, and it'll be back to guns this time for Astralis. 5 rounds, so full bonus.
I speculated if the AWP will come out. It does indeed. Things not looking too good for Astralis right now. They won the pistol, remember, they lose 5 rounds in a row. And they start waking up. Device brings out the sniper rifle with no nades to work with here. Not a huge deal, but he'll be looking to find JDM at the very start. And there will be 3 players towards Banana at the beginning of the round. Device spots nothing. Smoke goes down. He needs to change his position up, and Seeky's happy to challenge Banana right now. It's going to be a slow deeper. You see Astralis maybe a little bit rattled at the start, waiting for the mid push to come through once again. Number 7, and nothing really obtained by Astralis right now. We have got Dupree making his way towards Boiler. Zipex will tentatively join him as they do establish themselves towards the A side of the map.
JDM toward Coffins with Nitro to play at New Box gives so much banana control to Astralis.
It's a very passive hold. Even towards middle, we've got absolutely nothing in terms of CT presence. Elige in the library and 2 players in crossfire on the A bomb site. It means, yes, we can have full control of B and middle from Astralis. They have got a lot of options in terms of execute potential here.
Execute potential, but can easily cut off by those crossfires that Liquid's established.
Yeah, that's why a lot of teams are happy to do this. Like, let you execute, and they're just so happy with their setups. And in terms of what we have left, we have 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs. So even if we did execute, it's not going to be the most powerful. Enough to force JDM off Coffins, probably, sure, but...
Well, that's the big thing, because if JDM has a free fire from Coffins on the AWP, he's a menace. Jump up. And he doesn't get anything. Okay, we just missed it, so he could try to stay with the smoke and get a shot before it bloomed. Device caught him as he faded away. It's all on the Nitro, so forget crossfire. And the passive hold falls apart on the first pick from Astralis. So I understand entirely the concept of playing it. Unfortunately, that's exactly how it falls apart. As Glaive gets forward towards CT, there will be no further rotation from Liquid. They will concede the round, then Astralis get number 2, their first, since remember, winning the pistol.
So like we said, Liquid giving up maybe too much of the map there at that point. I think you have to choose one or the other. You have to have control of Banana or the mid area. If you give absolutely everything up, you have no information in terms of numbers. They had no one really spotting towards apartments either, so they had no idea whether Astralis even had basic mid control, if they had the apartments, if they had top of Banana, which they did. Full execution, very basic albeit, but smoke towards Coffin. JDM, I think he tried to jump up and try and find the first kill. That's what Device wanted him to do. As the flashbang went through, took him down, and that's your cue straight away. If you know you take a player like JDM down, especially an AWP, it's very likely he's either there by himself or baiting someone in towards new boxes or first oranges. Get in there together, shut him down, and it was a very quick round. And Liquid made the right call there, saved 3 rifles. That sort of retake, they get an early plant down, no frags exchanged, you're never going to win that one. So keep your money strong. They've got Elige on 5 figures still, even after reinvestment, so they're absolutely fine. And interestingly enough, a double AWP setup now for Liquid. Nitro, not known as an AWPer, it's more out of necessity that he does it. His team. He's decent with it, but no, certainly not world class. We'll see whether he can join in and help JDM out with sniper duties.
Nice gap in that smoke, but it's enough to deter Kiabi from going any further. Glaive gets in between the Molotovs. Which is not only a little bit hot, but he gets a nade thrown at him as well, so massive damage done. Fortunately, his position is enough to thwart any further attack from Liquid, and with the established high smoke, he'll be able to push back and take some of Banana, or reclaim some of Banana for the terrorist side. How's that happening? They lost Dupree, but gathered back Stan. Or at least the other way around, traded equally. But it's Kiabi that has bomb toward Boiler. And Nitro that's well and truly pushed back at B, meaning that JDM has to go aggressive, so they won't give up both sides of the map quite so easily this time, Liquid. At least look for information, but they're still running out of territory.
JDM certainly challenging a little bit more here. He's at the quad position, looking towards Boiler from what I can see. Smoke execution coming in momentarily, but 2 players towards the end of apartments with the bomb. That's Kiabi and Zipex.
So Device is going to smoke off front library, Moto area.
Yeah, and then there'll be 1 flash out apartments, and they'll just get out there.
The issue with it is Twist is already inside of that smoke, so he'll still be able to watch toward apartments. Device needs to confront JDM, and Kiabi gets him instead by reversing back, but they haven't found Twist in the site just yet, and they may not, because he's above the box. Good find! A third on Kiabi. The execution looks so swift, but better still is Twist.
How has he done that? Van Dolken, the Magnificent, strikes again. Flashbangs all over the place. Seemed like he was out of position. It was looking very good from Astralis. Like you pointed out, that one smoke towards Library, which is so strong. He just hits every single shot. This is just raw skill. Nothing more to it, nothing to analyze. He's just hitting all the shots. They're trying to take him down. They're doing everything correctly, but last player Device, he's got the AWP as well. Completely wrecked by Twists. And after winning one round, it will be a quick reply by Liquid. Double orb set up back out. We do still have money for Astralis here. 5 AKs and utility, but he's going to burn Glaive down to 9. He's going to have to be brave here. The nades come through as well. Still alive somehow on 7 HP. And he somehow gets away with it. Dupree with the first player to drop. That was from JDM at the arch side. Dupree went for the quick pick and got punished for it.
Just after Astralis win their first gun round and reset the money, although they did it swiftly, so they'll have guns again here, as you can see. Twist steps up individually and gives Liquid a chance. Oh, Kirby. Dear Lord, man. Through the smoke, walks directly into an old school tactic, the Molotov behind it. Realizes he's getting damaged and walks back away. Nitro with vision therefore hits Kiarby when he gets inside of the site. A fast flick upward and a fast rotation equally from Stanislaw. And Nitro's making matters worse, I think, for himself. Realizing it, he'll be chased down. And Device has to be careful on that window. Nice shot to find Twist. They got a chance to turn this around.
They do indeed. Device, low HP, bomb picked up but not planted. 40 seconds here, don't have to rush the decision making. As Stanislaw and JDM hold tight. JDM and Spawn, Stanislaw holding towards Banana. Zipex looking for any aggressive play from CT Spawn.
Problem is the Device is left on his own for the next fight. He knows there's one toward Banana. He already did well to hold it off as they went chasing through Ruins. It's getting the plant that becomes the issue. He's got 22 seconds to solve this. Is easier said than done, especially having lost Zipex, who is holding up for a better post plant should they have rotated back in. And I think Device is aware of the situation. Has to go aggressive if he wants any chance to win the round. And he'll go to the AWP. He's got 10 seconds, and he knows as well that it's out toward Banana. The last player was. He will. Oh. I was going to say he will not know that Stan has crossed over, but he goes rather audaciously toward the plant quickly as well to Nubox. Spotted and missed shot. A missed shot from Stanislaw gives Device a chance. And on an AWP with 15 HP, and when he had 15 seconds against a 1 versus 2, he may pull it back, but Stan finds the shot instead.
Sigh of relief there from Stan. Absolute misplay at that point. The fact he allowed him to plant with, what, 5 seconds on the clock? I assume he thought he was going to go for the fake plant there and try and take him down with the AWP. He still wins the round, but Device got way too much done there. Great play, great movement as well, bunny hopping past him, but I feel like Stan should have hit one of those bullets, but still wins the round absolutely fine. Bomb goes down, but money now in the bin for Astralis, but still not broken, so they can buy up into the next round. 7-2 for Liquid though, not the cleanest, so they'll be kept relatively modest there. Lee stays on $7,000, Nitro 3,300, but 3 teammates fully invested. They need to make sure this is a clean round. Astralis know it as well, so a partial buy here, just to try and find a few kills. Knowing they probably can't win the round, get 2 or 3 though, they still have the potential to break Liquid going forward.
Oof, that was very, very close. JDM fires down mid. It was Glaive that was jumping by. Gets them closer to the top of mid with Dupree already inside a boiler. They can try and overwhelm Team Liquid. I mean, this is an elimination match. Astralis down hard early. It was they that had the 7-1 lead this morning. Zipex this time is able to close out on Twist. Actually closed that game. Maybe fates have turned entirely as Liquid wants to do the same. Liege backs off though as he has to. The pistols have at least gained territory enough to plant. Gabi's a little bit slow getting there, so any chance for a kill at this point, take that back as Dupree gets the AWP. Helps Liquid's chance. That's at least where I was going with it. It's all into Nitro. Sprayed through the smoke. No entrance. Good gathering round from Astralis, considering there wasn't much invested. It gives them their first in 3 rounds at least. Gives them their 3rd round overall.
Astralis with the CZs. I'm not sure if you saw it so much in Montreal, Matt, but it seems to be a weapon that's completely replaced everything. The Tech 9's gone now. No one's using it. Everyone's using the CZ and finding great success with that weapon. And it will be working out for Astralis there as we get into round number 11. Still a buy for Liquid, but not the best. Should have been picking that round up, but taken down 1 by 1. And fast play from Kiarby. He pushes through the smoke here, looking for that first frag. Surely going to get it as well. If he pushed 1 step closer, could have found the low HP player of a Liege on the corner, but not meant to be this time. 3 players now for the B site for Liquid. Another default for Astralis. Knowing they've done damage there, that's fine. So now we can wait for the reactions and see if they can get some sort of tell where to go next.
Dupree's hit that shot before, remember? The pre-fire boiler door.
Yep.
Tries it again. JDM knows he's absolutely in there and backs off. When he does for the reload, it could cost Dupree. Not only does it cost Dupree, he hit the bomb inside a boiler. So that's a problem for Astralis. As a response, they immediately get aggressive, but smoked off from Stan, they won't be able to push through. They do at least recover the bomb, but they expend utility. Even though they bait one out from the CT side in doing so. So Dupree overstays his welcome a little bit, I have to say.
Oh, they'll go towards B, all in. All 4 players were smoked out. That's really hard to deal with here, but they're brave. They push through, find the shot on the lead. He was low HP, now down to Nitro. Has to find at least a kill. Not going to happen. Device with that aforementioned sees at a range, headshots him, and then picks up the AWP. Great work, and it will be a nice round there. Good start from Astralis to get back into this game.
Great rotation back from Device as soon as he had the op at the ready as well to cover off Banana. Liquid has to back away. And finally, Astralis have given themselves claws to the game because they've taken out the money, or at least the factor that Liquid had it to work with.
Yeah, second stage loss bonus for this round. Nothing really to save at this point. JDM still has the AWP.
Nope.
Okay, no, that's gone. Don't worry about that one. That's gone. That's absolutely been eradicated. 2K per player. This is double eco territory now. As we get into this one, this is a shot I was interested to see. You can see why the weapon is so sick right now. As we get into round number 12, nothing really to be purchased. There will be flashbangs and default pistols.
Flash's default pistols and Dupree on a Mac 10 to try and capitalize on it, so they've definitely kept track. They know that they're broken this time by. JDM, speaking of by, jumps by the window. Doesn't see anyone at the bottom of Alt Mid, but gets caught off. Ooh, through the wall from Glaive at the bottom of Alt Mid. Not bad. We don't often see that, but it works out perfectly. Carby's the one that gets the information off of it too, so he'll have confidence taking over apartments. So too, just Dupree and Zipix, and they'll walk into an empty site. The only player on A gets walled from the bottom of mid. Not too shabby.
Not too bad at all. 5 on 4. Should be a guaranteed round here. Glaive with a nice little spray down opportunity.
Ooh, careful. Gotta save some ammo. A little trigger happy. Device will walk around the corner. So no ace potential for Glaive as Nitro tries to do what he can with exits. I'd love to see that replay. I just like that shot.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we can work something out.
All right, thank you. Just for me.
Yeah.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Well, just Nitro remaining.
He's trying to use the sound to hope he walks directly in front of him, but that's not going to happen. He's trying. He really wants the element of surprise. Oh, I think Dupree spotted him. And Dupree is hungry to go for a Mac 10 kill because that's why he bought it, so he'll at least get one. Not really sure it's worth the price of investment because one on return, but he's got lots of money to work with even still. He's back to the AK-47. This is the overeager spray.
This is not the replay you wanted.
No, it's the other one I wanted, but that's fine. You know what? It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, they tried their best. They got your replay.
Exactly. Beggars can't be choosers.
Exactly.
That's what I always tell my dog. And then she still gets what she wants.
Well, they take a tactical timer here, Liquid. Still 7-5 up. Looking decent. They have lost 3 rounds in a row now, and this is a difficult position. They can buy. On average, you've got about maybe $4,300 per player. I need to work out what's the best port of call here. Do we fully invest in? So I think they definitely do buy. I don't think you allow Astralis to get 7-6, not even picking up a fight, but they could partial buy it. We'll see what they decide to do as we get into round number 13. The closing sectors of the first half of the first map here is starting to heat up, and the buy does come through. And MP9 for a Liege, opting for utility and the diffuse kit here. MP9 definitely a viable weapon these days.
It's gotten buffed a little bit, yeah. And it's Malmo, we saw it more than ever. Peter, I still need that stat. Holler at your boy. But yeah, no, I mean, look, I like the MP9, you know that.
I know,
maybe not in this situation though.
Yeah, it's just Harry's favorite weapon as well. He told me. So you
that makes
guys got that in common.
So much sense. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Just Harry copying the weapons I like. Scrawny dressing the exact same as me.
Is that you guys think? That was your thing?
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
It was pretty cute. Shout out to Scrawny. Good time in Montreal. This gets cheeky inside the smoke at the bottom of Banana. They're going to contest. With Nitro going first down early, though, and that means Elige can't wrap around the corner as a firing squad behind him with the MP9 as intended.
Well, this is Liquid having to try and push with the first frag there. 3 players towards Banana, flashing around the corner, knowing they have the frag first. They've got little to no utility now. One flashback, lost the first couple of frags, but there we go. Twist fighting back. Stanisol chimes in as well. It's now the 3-on-3 as Kiabi took down 1. That was Nitro, but
this is okay from Twist. Recognizes they wrapped around it Arch side as well, and it's about preservation at this point. They know he's inside a boiler, But Device didn't expect him to be so close, and he was being pushed, therefore, from the rotations at Arch. So Twist staying alive has created a massive problem.
Glaive in the pits, Kiabi on the bomb site. Do have the advantage in terms of the firepower, but Twist hitting absolutely every shot right now.
Twist spots Glaive in the open. Good shot back. That gives him position. Kiarbi bails him out by getting a Liege in the open, who is then to pursue and try and trade. And Astralis have pulled it back from a 7-2 deficit to 7-6. A chance to go further as well, because money is still, as you would say, Henry, in the bin.
It is in the bin. And we do have Liquid now with some sort of approach. They've got 3 HE grenades. It's what we call the airstrike. Coming in with the CZ as well. A couple of sets of body armor. They'll be nading down middle from what I can see right now. It's a classic strategy. Sometimes works out. And they will be pushing down straight towards T-steps. But they have been spotted as well. Teasing us fall back, hold the defensive line. Don't even have to challenge here. And the flashbang goes over. They want the fights, it seems. And 3 kills coming in for Astralis. Round should be over as Elise drops as well. He did take down Kiabi with him, but I think that's all we'll get out of this situation. It's going to be Nitro now, the last player remaining. Top of Banana. Waiting to die, Matthew, like we all are.
Some wishing it would be sooner than others.
And there it is. The final kill comes in.
7-7 after a slow start from Astralis, similar to what we saw this morning. Remember we mentioned it. They had the lead. 7-1. Liquid pulled it back, had a 13-round to something lead, and then lost the game.
It's true.
So maybe,
it does happen.
Maybe Liquid is doing that. That's the strategy. We'll just copy what Astralis did to us, right down to the score, and win it 16-13.
It's the old class, the old switcheroo.
Exactly. Bait and switch.
Round number 15. This was a great half for Liquid, but it has fallen apart. Now they can potentially lose it. That's a missed shot from JDM, a rare miss as well. And it's going to be an absolute massacre towards the mid-area. 3 kills coming in. That's going to be round done. Sure, bombs and T-spawn, but how do Elise and Nitro get back in this situation? So far removed from everything. They have to go through the arch and maybe just flash through the smoke.
Well, they'll bounce the flash through, as you say, but Dupree not caught by that. He's able to close out the half. 8-7 Astralis pull it back. They do have an answer on Inferno, it appears, and it's one that Liquid was not quite ready for.
They were 7-2 up there, Liquid, looking very good indeed, but then the end of the half, it all fell apart. But I still feel like this one's got a few more twists and turns yet, Matt. We'll take a quick break and see if Liquid can come back into the second half.
Well, Astralis have won all 5 matches they've played against this Liquid lineup. That doesn't seem to want to change yet because they pull back from a 7-2 deficit, make it 8-7 in their favor on the T side of Inferno. Map 1 of our decider, best of 3 between the 2 teams. And Liquid, keep in mind as well, trying to get the NA hope alive and keep it alive by getting into the stadium tomorrow and on Sunday. Hopefully on Sunday for their matter.
Nitro and Elise, the old tag team duo there at the bottom. 4 kills for Nitro and Elise, not really showing up just yet. Only 5 for him, but Twist and JDM, they were putting on quite the show, I have to say, especially in the opening few rounds there. But Astralis do take the lead. That's disappointing for Liquid, considering the momentum they had and the way they reset Astralis as well. Couldn't really get going towards the end of that first half. 7-2 up, ending 8-7. So that's disappointing. We'll get into their pistol now. Could be Banana, no HG still. Oh, they have got 1 HG, I beg your pardon. So Twist will use out of the top, and this will be a Flom Rush Banana, I think. Smoking Coffins, smoking towards spawn. Challenge a first shot, and they do headshot Glaive down to 1 HP. Can't quite find the frag just yet, though. He's going to be sneaky here. Oh, I thought he was going to hold in the smoke and see if he can get the first kill as they run past.
Well, didn't quite go for it. He'll swap sides Zipix. Stan goes back and holds off on the Cubby. If they do push back down, Banana wants to reclaim it. Should they go back over toward A at all? I'll try and clothesline one on the way by. They get ready for the execution. Smoke towards CT instead. Zipix backs off. Good find onto Glaive. The 1 HP didn't even matter. Headshot from Twist. At the end, Zipix only manages 1 and then was completely outdone. He had no chance to hold off for more than just 2. Meanwhile, though, Device, fancy his chances coming back in from CT. In fact, all the way to Ruins aggressively. No one to play off of. Goes alone, gets a Liege, but JDM trades it back. And you make a good point. Nitro in-game leading. Not looking sharp so far in this game, and without a Liege, that punch, it's been a while since we've seen that combo.
I say Twists and Elise is the combo right now. JDM with a nice jumping shot there with the Glock. Takes down Kiabi, sets down to Dupree now. No kit available, 100 HP. Needs to one bang both of these if you can have any sort of chance, but it won't happen. Reload coming in, Hope dwindling, as he will be losing the round as well. Twist is the final shot. I'm a big fan of Twist right now. I think he's a fantastic player. A great pickup for Liquid in general, and as I was just making the point there, I think it's Elise and Twist. They're the tag team duo now. Nitro has dropped off in terms of form, but now he brings a new role to the team. The fact that he is in-game leading for them, he probably has dabbled with that before. I think in this Liquid lineup, they've probably tried everyone in-game leading at some point.
Yeah, just after Simple left, that was told.
Like it was a bit of a mess at that stage, but getting grand finals at events like Mykonos, it seems like they're going strength to strength right now. And now tying things up with Astralis. It's going to be the first frag though for JDM. Great fighting back, those pesky CZs. There seems to be a massive problem on both sides. Dupree with another Deagle headshot there from top of middle. Twist and Nitro to recover this situation. Zipex still alive as well, arguably one of the best clutches in the game. Bomb not be planted, of course. Well, so much time to work with. Can get together and let's try and find the CTs one by one.
For what it's worth, if it's between Liquid and Cloud9 and Pride on the line, if Liquid do not win this series, Cloud9, it looks like they're about to against Na'Vi and go through to the playoffs. So Na'Vi could be going down. Zeus will not be happy with that at all. As Twist rounds toward the arch. Good headshot back onto Zipix.
Such a tense situation.
That's a 1 versus 1 against a Deagle of Dupree with 11 HP. He's going to try and use time to his favor, but time nearly catches him off as he looks the wrong direction, misses the shot. Dupree sneaks in, and it's Astralis to return serve, just as Liquid did to them on the first half.
It seems to be happening so much these days. It's the problem of not having the firepower. When you're opting for like 3 or 4 SMGs and in 1 AK, and then you're going against the CZs that seem to be in every single force by in the second round now. Even seeing the AWPers get stuck in because how powerful they can be. It's very difficult to hold off. It seems like a 50-50 sort of exchange now. Who wins that one? Dupree with that Deagle as well. 2 frags in the round. And winning the 1v1 out versus Twist, who had low HP, trying to outbrain him there, but just holding one position, hoping he could walk into his crosser, which he did, but he couldn't find the shot. Forced by him, return by Liquid, but JDM burning alive there, and it will be Glaive to finish him off. 5 on 4, and that's the job done. The CTs don't have to challenge anymore here, but they still want to get towards Broken Wall, apparently. It's going to be a nice spot as well, considering they have the smoke down. Dink towards Twist. Surely that's enough aggression now.
Back off. Twist with that much damage done to him, and the advance toward Boiler. Kiarbi that has so much vision. The one thing he didn't see is that Stanislaw went all the way back down the bottom side of the map, and we get behind them inside of apartments. Kiarbi calls for it, hears it, Dupree swings, kill achieved, and hold off Banana. Quite well done from Astralis, considering there was a chance for the flank in the apartments. Twist goes down, Astralis find round 10.
And that should be it in terms of cash for the T side. Astralis with the double digits and 3 SMGs up as well. This is money time. Try and farm some. Now up against P50's blocks, no armor, no nades.
Just to give you an update as well.
Oh, I like it.
15-11 for Cloud9. Map point, series point. Simple has 31 kills. The next on his team, 16.
He's been playing lights out this tournament as well, so that's going to be gutting for him.
Oh, he's going to be furious about that.
Oh, it's the end.
Well, carrying on with our game.
Yeah. This is the better one. Stay here.
Yeah, exactly. Dupree against Pistols just runs down mid. Good fight, good forward aggression. Glaive does the same through the smoke. And it's Device to close the round. Now we get back into the interesting bits to see if Astralis can continue on with momentum, because they've got a chance to use the SMGs. Bit of a bonus round. Money already built up in stacks, but they'll go against AK-47s, full head armor, knowing that the SMGs were still in play, and they'll pick up an AWP, actually. So they're down to 2 SMGs to bring up an op on Device. And it is the end, by the way.
Yes, it is on the other game, just to note. Astralis, Device, he said, CT side AWP hits his way, does his absolute best work. Very dynamic, will be in a different position every single round. Drops the smoke for his teammates, won't be picking towards Banana. Glaive and Zipex with the opportunity to boost up on the broken wall if they want to. It looks like they're pushing through. And here we go, the same old push. And Glaive, yep, that's a strange play by him, I have to say. That sort of range, he was never really going to have the advantage. And let's get taken down with the smoke, but he really kind of overexposed, I think, at that stage. Now Zipex has to do a lot of work here. So you won't even be able to fall back. The smoke has dropped, but he has got backup from Device.
Backup from Device, who's got patience with the AWP to watch the wall.
Yes.
Man down, the expensive Glaive thins the defense, and Zipex thinks better of his position now and decides to rotate back over to A, make it a 3-1, still viable on a CT side, but not perfect. Device has to be patient as well and not fire through the wall, even though it's a tempting opportunity, because it gives away his position. They could spray the corner and force him off. Instead, he does prevail by waiting and getting Nitro to walk into his crosshair. It still gives them the approach and control of Banana, but it gives him something to work with. He's hoping it's funneled him away. It hasn't. The problem is that Zipex has not rotated. He will do so now as Dupree gets toward alt middle, and Kiabi's already confirmed, but it's on to Device. At least until help arrives. Only with 1 kill. It's JDM, the other opper, although not with one, that gets the kill on the AK.
Not known to hit those sort of shots with the AK-47. That's very nice indeed by JDM. Gives them a lifeline. If Device gets the second kill there, that's round over. Towards Ruins we go. Zipex only with that UMP. Needs some backup. A flashbang perhaps to get him in position, but his teammates both coming from the Banana entrance.
Kiabi with the next level, a nade bounce towards CT. It was totally intentional.
Sure.
As Twist peeks back out from where he actually wanted the nade behind the pillar. Dupree to put him down. JDM.
Oh, no!
That's a big whiff. As Stan tries to do what he can with an AWP, but he's smoked off, covered, and Astralis walk back in. They'll get away with what was a bonus round, but there was an investment to the AWP. Thankfully, Dupree, I just see it now, has gotten toward it.
After JDM hits that entry to the B site, takes down Device. And then he has that whip from Coffins as well. He knew it as well as Zipex showed. Look how wide that peak got as well. He had like 2 seconds to actually nail that shot and just completely missed it. And that's the round. If he makes that kill, it's probably a T-sided affair, but doesn't happen. 12-8 and Liquid only winning 1 round, and that was the pistol so far in this half. 4-1 after crumbling towards the end of the first. CZs, PD50s. Twist brings out the Tech 9, a rare appearance on that weapon. Nitro and Elise still not fragging him. Even they finished the half on 5 and 6 frags. They still really haven't found anything. As we go into round number 6 here in the second half. There we are, pointed out.
Astralis just cruising at this point.
Yeah.
JDM knows there's company inside of an end, but can't do anything really about it with the P250.
P250.
I knew. How did I was going to say it, and I was like, nah, I was even going to say as you would say, and then you said it.
Oh, we're in New York, aren't we? That's the sort of thing they say. They pronounce it like that, maybe.
Do they?
I don't know. Sounds about right.
Kiabi down by Twist. Dupree inside of the site wants to try and find above the smoke, but can't do it. It's actually the pistols and a team kill from Glaive on the Device. That's going to give the favor firmly to Liquid. Although it's Zipex that'll hold, at least against Nitro, to try and pull it back, and he'll do so against Elige. Assertion comes out from Zipex when it needs to as Glaive goes into the site knowing they just planted the bomb, wants to catch them off guard and find Stanislaw. He'll slow the pace and try and solve the riddle as to where Twist is. The problem is it's low HP for Zipex, so Twist still has the angle. Diffuse, going to be held. Edge of the box, easy to spot. Twist will pull the round, and Liquid does get away with it in the end.
It was looking so good for Astralis there, finding kill after kill in a 4-on-2 situation. Comes down to the 1v1, or 2 versus 1 if you will as well, but Twist playing an absolute blinder today. He's keeping his head above water, and indeed his team as well. 21 frags, 15 deaths, Legion Nitro, like we said, at the very bottom, they can't really contribute too much right now. But there it is, another round on the board for Liquid. They're second in the half so far, 12-9 score overall, and they all comes out for JDM. That's when he's his absolute best against Device, so one of the greats, especially on the CT side. Very difficult to predict and can be very aggressive at times as well.
So SK, Cloud9, and FaZe already in the playoffs. Astralis and Liquid battling for the last spot. Astralis, early lead map 1, 12-9, falling off inside of the site. Though finally a kill hits as it's Dupree to get Twist down, but it took a while before the exchange came through, and Astralis takes a firm lead when they do. So Dave goes hunting as well. Bombs dropped. He knows they have to go back toward it. Stan gets covered off because of it. Still, though, a chance. Smoke will buy time, but JDM has the op and can go high side apartments to try and spot over the site. And it's therefore Device that needs to be cautious of the angle, but he's still cognizant of the fact that Arch is open. So if JDM gets to the door first and can line up the shot, Device has a cautious opportunity. Best bet, let JDM commit, let him go into the site on his own, which he'll do now because he has to. 50 seconds is a lot, but not, oh no! Oh, Glaive! Oh, that could have cost them, and Device gets out and readied fast enough before JDM can set his aim toward Library.
Just about hold on, but Astralis do take it, 13-9. That pretty much could be it for Liquid. The good news is they have Twist. After winning so many clutches, are staying alive more than his teammates. He's got about $6 grand right now. Definitely worth a pause. His teammates averaging 2K per player. So he could drop an AK, a Galil at best, and have not much himself. His teammates then mixture of UMPs and pistols. What's the play here? Do you buy into it? Or do you take a partial, he'll drop some deagles, and you'll see what he can do to try and get back into this game. Definitely a difficult decision to be made here. There it is, confirmed on the screen. Tactical timeout by Liquid. And it will... Oh, JDM gets the AWP. Okay. He has been dropped it. Wow. Let's go.
This is a bold move. I mean, it levels him with everyone else's buy, but they all bought armor as well. They could have sat back on essentially nothing and been ready to force more effectively next round. So this is trying to catch Astralis off. JDM T-side hop aggressive.
The Hail Mary play. He had the best spawn available. So maybe he goes towards Banana. No, he's actually just watching middle. It's quite rare that you can actually be gifted an opportunity in that position. I prefer maybe go towards B or the apartments. Kiabi to strike first, so second middle, low HP, could still go down, but one as he survives.
2 players have jumped by. And no shots fired from JDM, but he was spotted as Device got the op. Stared back down, excuse me, Kiabi has the op and stared back down. He's tagged to 1 HP.
Yeah, so it's sort of defensive line now.
But JDM was missing crucial shots. Didn't react fast enough on either player jumping. I wonder is the jig up because now it's Nitro at least to pull one back.
He's committing as well.
He picked up aggressive. What? Good damage done. In fact, takes Sipix all the way down. Looked like it was a tag originally, but he gets the kill. Device smoked off means they open up the site. Liquid with the single op and a gun picked up may have enough in this.
They definitely do. They've got a Molotov available as well. Flashbang and an AWP. This might be the safe call. It is. With Kiabi on 1 HP, there's like, you know what, you just have it. Nitro, assertive play there. Gets that 1 kill the season. I thought that was good, but he goes one step better as well. Running in towards the B site. A player on new boxes with the UMP at that sort of range, that's impressive. He gets it, draws to smoke and CD spawn as well, and nothing Astralis can do there. With the low HP player, they think to yourselves, okay, our money's not amazing right now. They've actually fully invested in this round. That's a 0 per player. Keep the 3 weapons up. At least we can be competitive into towards the next round. And we'll be 4 surviving for Liquid.
Keep in mind as well, one of my favorite finals casted last year, New York, Na'Vi, VP, both teams gone in groups this year.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
Yep, 2 defending finalists, defending champion. Indeed, it's been a very interesting year as we see big names struggle and teams emerge as challengers that have been quite successful. Gambit being the most successful, if you want to call them the challenger and all the things they've done as growing up as a team.
Everyone is anticipating the return of Zeus to be Na'Vi finding their form again, but that's really proven to be the case as of yet.
Device, although the flames down, still has an AWP towards Banana, goes aggressive with it and catches Stan retreating. I think he spotted as well that Nitro was in position, but he's going to go above the smoke and fire, but somehow it does. Okay, did collect. Did he not?
No.
Wow, I thought he hit the second shot as well. I'm not sure exactly how he missed that.
Yeah, it looked like it was dead on, but not meant to be. He holds strong though at the B site. That one narrowly misses as well. 5 on 4. He knows he has to word half of these rounds, considering they've got 1 AWP and 2 pistols here. He has given them an advantage. Not rotating back. Happy to hold towards B here. As Team Liquid make their way towards the apartment. Still have the bomb on the back of Nitro.
Liege, time to step up. Sits on 8 kills at this point, needs an entry as JDM, and he will head toward the apartments. Nitro's there with him. It absolutely has to be a trade. In the worst case scenario, nearly comes out much worse as the Liege gets tagged, but does make up for it. Second headshot onto Dupree. Sight is open. It's a one-man advantage, only just as the Liege survives with 6 HP, but gets the bomb down. Xyp9x only has the CZ to work with on the flank.
This could be another safe situation with Device and the AWP. I think they've already called it, and it will be Glaive with that first shot with the CZ75, but at least, like you said, find some form, and they could go back into this game. 3 kills in total, very impactful kills as well. Opening frags towards the A site, and the round was done. Device has no choice but to save the AWP. In terms of going into the next round, they have a second stage loss bonus, and they can't force the next round. They're going to have to give in and allow Liquid to potentially tie things up. And
the Molotov thrown toward the apartments is clever because that's actually where there was an AK down. I thought Xyp9x might try and sneak in and grab it, but he gets a UMP instead. They'll carry it over. Liquid is exactly mirroring Astralis at this point because they had 13 rounds when Astralis came back on them.
Yes.
After leading, it was Liquid that led, and now Astralis on 13 rounds, and Liquid's making a case for it. We go to 13-11.
5-4 overall. And there's the first shot from the Device before the second one connected. Let's have a look. How close was it? Super slow motion.
Oh, just above. Yeah. Just above.
Well, there you go. That's why we have slow motion. We can see what happened there. And it will be a pause from the Danish side here. They have got the lead, but money definitely in the bin. AWP available, UMP as well. They haven't bought anything this round, but each player sat about the 2K mark. If they want to force this, it's going to mean Device having to drop a UMP or a CZ. Same story for Xyp9x as well. And it looks like the force is coming through, Matt. They are indeed all in. This is a risky call. But the CZ proving to be very, very powerful right now in the current meta. So it kind of makes sense. If you can find frags of every single round, why not? If you've got the Device AWP as well, who's finding opening kills. Definitely an option for them. It's a gamble, sure, but it will only tie things up to 13-13. So they're still not out of the game. If they lose this one, if they win it, it's going to be 14-11. They'll be very comfortable. So I think this is an informed decision. We'll see what they can do with it. Just to note, Kiabi, he is on 7 kills, 14 deaths. He is like dropped off.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's more than 10 kills behind anyone on his team.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, he's having an absolute stinker there. But
he's actually battling with Nitro for bottom.
Yeah, and that's difficult right now. So
starfish position.
Yeah.
They're trying to take it over. Dupree sits top mid. Sees that in hand. Nice once more gets on top of the half wall, and he'll be left there as Xyp9x rotates back around, so relying on the AWP to anchor, as they should do in this situation. Get the SMG support with pistols. Twist takes down Dupree early.
Cool in the open.
Device is going to attempt to rotate and get to the A site to support it, but there's nothing that says Liquid has to go this way. In fact, they're still feeling out the map, and there's a chance that Stan could be quite comfortable pushing back up Banana, so Device has thought better of it. You get the feeling Liquid might have just walked into the stack, though.
Yeah, well, that's what I was biding their time. Bleed out whatever the CD's got, especially when you have the advantage right now. Whatever sort of utility they have in their back pockets, just wait. They have to use it. And they go back towards B, but it looks like it could be the fake. Kiabi finally showing us something with that CZ. Takes down Nitro as well. That's not the bomber, that's going to be Twist. So they wanted to fake towards B and then go towards A finally. But now, Kiabi finding that frag. That certainly has made things interesting. 30 seconds remaining. The final commitment does come towards the A site. Glaive and Kiabi to defend. But that's not where the AWP is. Only 2 pistols to take on 4 terrorist players here.
Kiabi will be damaged significantly by the Molotov, and eventually will go down to it. JDM with the kill. As the Liege follows up onto Glaive. You're right, this will go at least pointing toward a 13-13 scoreline. However, Device has the op still and will save it. Try to. He's going to get closer to the bomb, at least for now.
Give it a go. See if there's a gap.
Ballsy.
There is a gap.
There's a massive gap. Unfortunately, it doesn't cover off anyone in the site. Xyp9x is walking out from... Oh, the apartments. He nearly got 2 for 1. JDM was just behind Twist, but he and Liege will clean up, and they'll get away with it. No op saved. Astralis went all in on an all-in buy, and therefore now we look at 13-13 down the barrel of a gun.
But
or lack thereof.
Exactly. Or next round they have 4 state loss banners, man. So they've got like what, 3K per player right now with Device on 4K. So with $2,100 that's coming in next round, they're still fine. Taking Eco here, still not the end of the world. Liquid will indeed make it 13-13, but you are on the more favored side on the CTs there. I still give this game to Astralis, but Liquid doing a very good job now to get back into it. 3 rounds in a row. That was a good decision to get back towards the A side, like we said. Device holding B, 2 pistols defending that. Good Molotovs usage there from Liquid. Straight towards the pit. Nothing they could do about that. Easy kills, and we were number 26. Weapon of Horse coming through. That was called by Team Liquid. In terms of the Danish buy, it will be a CZ, a Deagle. Dupree gets some armor as well. He's also got that Desert Eagle. Like we said, one of the most powerful Desert Eagle users we have in the game. Can he get anything done here? I'm not so sure.
Well, he's not alone with it. Device has the same. Has a smoke as well if he wants to buy himself some space or try and funnel Team Liquid either which way. So Legion's already inside a boiler. Nitro is as well. They'll start to clear the apartments systematically and together. Including pre-fire from Nitro's AK-47. Cleve, meanwhile, stays behind the fountain to play off Xyp9x, so it's no stack with the weapons as the pistols come out, but they'll try and work with standardized crossfires instead.
Should be a very clean round here for Liquid. Not much to give away. First kill. Now they can slow it down. Don't have to fully commit. You can see the bomb still towards the B side, waiting for any sort of reaction pushes from Astralis. It's Cleve and Xyp9x holding towards that side of the map. Just dropping nades now towards the areas towards that garbage. Flashing out players like Dupree as well. JDM. So quite snappy with that AWP as they're edging towards B now to find Xyp9x, the last line of defense.
Smoke CT. No one's going to be able to spot back. Twist goes in. Almost loses his own vision inside of the smoke, but still has enough to take down Xyp9x, and it leaves Device in a 1 versus 5 with a Deagle and armor.
Yeah,
he's going to try and save. The problem is Nitro's waiting for him to do so. He'll jump out. Nitro does get him before, just after actually he hits the ground, but still gets the kill. And we have a tie game late for Liquid on their map. Remember, it is Inferno is Liquid's choice.
It is. We move on to Cash next, which has always been a bit of an anomaly for Astralis. They seem to squeeze out results in it, but it's always a little bit unconvincing for me. It's never looked like a really comfortable map for them. They've taken down some huge scalps recently on it, sure, but it's their T side for me. It's always looked a little bit weak. That will definitely be an interesting game. At one point, Liquid's best map has always been like NA home turf. That's number 27. Full buy comes in once again, like we said, for Device. This time, the AWP towards middle. Not going up banana like he has been. Our players towards second mid here, but no one going to be exposing himself to him just yet as he falls back to hold a more defensive line at the corner. Smoke towards middle means he can look towards the boiler. It's a very tight angle, but he can spot legs crossing over. Does see one, but not going to pull the trigger just yet.
For Device. Holds that arch with Glaive there for to support Xyp9x, who's low enough inside of Banana that Glaive's actually, with a deep smoke thrown, confident in leaving him there. Johnson for position at top, and instead though Device forced back AWP at the ready. Can't find his shot, does get Stanislaw late, but can't get back through the smoke to hold the site. That's open for plant. And Liquid have control of the situation, not only by putting the bomb down, but also with one man to the good as JDM. No one will push through Moto. As Xyp9x gets a lead, this is going to be a save. They're already backing off of it. That means Liquid now takes their 14th round, one better than that of what Liquid have, and they do it with a 5th round in a row. So, yes, money available to Astralis, but it's getting deep, deep into the game, and they are having trouble closing this out.
They really are. Might not be an option. Getting deep here, but 3 players will be surviving with weaponry here. It's going to be Device with the AWP, of course. Hasn't really had that much impact. Gets 1 kill into this round, but that's all he did. Couldn't single-handedly win it for them. Will be Xyp9x joining him with the kill there, but pretty simple procedure there for Liquid. They'll be saving all 3 weapons towards the pit once again. There it is. Low HP, but absolutely fine with that position. And Liquid now take the lead for the first time in the second half. Remember, they were up 7-2 in the first. Stars came back and won the half. We felt like, okay, that's probably the end now. Stars got into 5th gear. They'll just cruise this one home, and they were doing that. Won the pistol in the second half. It looked like a very convincing victory. Round by round, Liquid have got back into this. Now 5 in a row in their favour. At one point, it was 5-2 in the second half. Obviously, the buy will be available for Astralis saving the weaponry, but in terms of the reinvestment, everyone pretty much all in. About $1,000 per player. Team Liquid know they're in touching distance now. Get that match point, win this round is pretty much over. there'll be nothing really to work with. They have maximum loss bonus, sure, but it was speed, such a difficult situation with the CTs.
So Astralis are in the same precarious position Liquid found themselves in this morning. The comeback and then momentum lost. Device on the AWP going against that of JDM. Deep smoke thrown by Device, and he'll rotate back over presumably. No, he's actually going to stay. So deep smoke plus 3 players even still on the B side of the map, and although the Molotovs go relatively far down Banana, it's Stanislav that's ahead of them. They can catch them off because they're sitting in the open and with no idea. Thankfully, Device has the lineup ready because that could have been 2 for absolutely nothing as they would have backed away. Glaive, in fact, got tagged down to 1 HP in the process. There would have been no exchange if not for Device. Still a win, if you will, for Liquid. Meanwhile, back over toward A. Dupree at quad has let them get toward pit, and he's aware of it, so goes to top middle to leave his backside safe, but has given up so much room in doing so. And his backside has Nitro sitting on the doorstep of Boiler, who finds Glaive as well. This is going to go map point for Liquid.
That's really, really nice there. Getting up towards middle, hitting the shots, and just isolating him as well. As soon as it got that opening pick, just going all in there. It was so much pressure shown towards the B side of the map as well. Stanislav, he kills one. They call the low HP. 1 HP at that side of the map, you probably have to call for a rotation. Someone's going to have to back up the B players. That's exactly what happened. And at that point, Twist, he decided to go all in. And they're trying to hunt down Device now. They know it's worth taking him down. Don't let a player like him save that AWP. Take him down. You've got a chance of closing this game out in the next round. He's towards Ruins right now. The T's are coming, though. They know exactly where he is. He's got 25 kills as he adds to 26. Will they go all in for this? Do they really want him?
I think they will. I mean, they're going to have map point. They're going to have money anyway. Any gun they get down is beneficial. Good flick to get it into a one-on-one against Twist, who still is close by. Goes for the wall shot. Instead, Device tries to do the same. It's all or not now for Astralis and money. It's available enough to force around it. I think Glaive's got enough for a gun himself.
Well, the best thing about that is...
But no kits except for just the one on Zipix.
Because the CD side, you get money as well. So he gets maximum loss bonus on top of the OP save, so you can drop an M4 along with that. And it's actually not a bad buy here. Device, once again, aggressive. There's been a banana rush, Matt, to finish things off potentially here. Glaive, horrible position, but good flashbang. He's going to get the double spray up, but no, Elige takes it, and it will be a 4-on-4. One player holding towards B. That's going to be Zipex. They don't go all in. They've got the advantage, but look at the damage done for the players about the 60 HP.
The push, though. The push down middle. It pincers them into a banana, but they have to win the exchange. Dupree only manages 1 on Stanislav and then falls immediately after to Twist, and therefore it opens up rotation, so Device has to bail on Zipix. So no matter how they face it, it's a 2-on-1 isolated situation that favors Liquid on approach. The one saving grace for the individual player on defense would be the fact that they've got HP to their advantage. A smoke off from Twist onto Zipix, and he's going to push it. You know he is. You know he's going to go through it and try and surprise them. He'll sit in the smoke, let them walk in, and times it perfectly as he takes down Twist. Bomb dropped. But hang on for JDM because he's recovered. And he'll go for the plant fast enough. Device will not be able to get to Banana and be a factor, but as he holds it, oh, smart positioning, gets behind the fountain. That just saves him barely as the bullets can't penetrate and do deep enough damage. He's on 14 with an AWP, but they both come from the same angle. And they'll at least get a 14th round. We'll play for overtime.
We will indeed. It was an audacious call there from Nitro, the newly appointed in-game leader. Rush B at the very start. They trade for days. It comes down right down to the wire there, 2-on-2, but Zipex with clever play. Pushing through the smoke, like you said, Matt. He gets that first kill and then toys with JDM. Allows him to plant, sure, but knows exactly where he is. Takes him down, makes him shoot, and then nothing can happen there. It's going to be round number 30 here. Definitely has a chance for overtime, as we have got pretty decent buy for both sides. Astralis finding some form right at the end. One more. Keep them alive here. Liquid trying to deny that the best they can. They get a full buy on the board. JDM still with the AWP. Presumably were dropped. AK on the floor there. Final pause did come through. And here we go. Liquid, the banana rush. Was that the right call to get them over the edge? The Hail Mary. 5 players up there.
Fast play from Liquid out of spawn. 3 toward alt middle. Kiabi and Glaive have actually crossed and got aggressive inside of apartment zone. Exchange early. Favors Twist doubly so. Oh, Glaive walked into the same fate, same angle, and was taken down by the same opponent, which now gives Twist access onto the stairwells. But Dupree reads it well and takes Boiler back. Not only that, goes aggressive and catches off Twist in doing so. That is a beautiful recovery from Dupree.
How's he done that? They went aggressive at the apartments, got punished for it at 5-on-3, then Dupree saving the day. Here we go then. It will come down to this very last round. Not clear who has the advantage right now, but it will be towards squad we go. Nitro in the apartments with the bomb right now, waiting for a smoke to go down. JDM joins him as well. Flash to the side, trying to set up Stanislaw. Dupree and Zipex to defend at the A side.
Stan has to be so careful walking in. It's a common spot that Dupree is playing, but no one to trade off of because they've got Zipex located and pincered so far off, covered inside of the pit that they've got problems. He still manages to get one. Double peek, they go single. He nearly gets a chance therefore to take down Nitro, but it falls to Device to keep the game alive. Or Liquid takes map 1 in the best of 3, and bomb is going to be planted to aid to that. He's going to go aggressive Device as well. He's already inside of the smoke. Pistol out. AWP, but elects to stick with the CZ75. Pit covered off, and he's being stared at from the angle that JDM is holding behind the broken wall.
Oh, the flashes are relentless.
Perfect timing is just when Device wanted to peek as well. He's got to hit a headshot on JDM from the angle. Can't do it. The op from Liquid makes it 16-14, and Liquid find map 1.
Yeah, a little bit of a disjointed Inferno game there. Back and forth, some questionable rounds, some weird buys, and some crazy rushes coming through as well. Mixed aggression on both sides there, but it will be Liquid to take the first map victory on their pick, like you pointed out earlier, Matt. We move on to Cash as well next, which is Astralis. They definitely can play. They've taken some huge names down recently, but it's not their home map, I would say. They're not 100% comfortable on it, and it could be a chance for the 2-0 here from the American side.
Well, a chance for a 2-0 that would be the exact same, therefore, of what Cloud9 achieved against Na'Vi. Keep in mind, they are in. It could be the same fate for Liquid, which would mean each of our semifinals have an American team in front of an American audience. We'll take a break after map 1, join the panel, and then we'll be back for map 2.